Let's talk about confidence. Guest episode. Stuart Cuzner, The Long Game. I'm John M. Walsh, and this is Let's Talk About Confidence. Today's guest is someone I've known for nearly 20 years, and I've watched his career unfold in a way that says something important about confidence. Stuart Cuzner is now a partner at Menzies, a top 20 UK accountancy firm. But when I first met him in the mid-2000s, he was in his 20s, sitting in the meeting, taking notes whilst the partner ran the show. He wasn't the one leading the conversation. He was the one learning by watching. This year, Stuart celebrates 27 years in accountancy. He's risen from assistant manager through every level to partner. And he did it without a university degree. Something he chose at 17 because he didn't think he was bright enough for A-levels. That belief turned out to be wrong, but the choice turned out to be right. Stuart, welcome to Let's Talk About Confidence.
Thanks for having me, John.
Take me back to 1999. You've done a year of GNVQ business and you decide, no A-levels, no university, so I'm going straight into work. What was going through your head?
I was in a really small class. I had 6 or 7 people in my class as opposed to the A-level classes that were 25, 30 people. And we found that they obviously had a plan.
Yeah.
I didn't have a plan.
Right.
I knew I wanted to be in accountancy.
Wow, where did that come from?
My dad used to run his own business.
Right.
And the only time he ever wore a suit was when he was going to see the accountant.
Wow.
So he went and saw his accountant, and I sort of mentioned that I'd like to go down that route. He went, saw his accountant, and they gave him some books about profit and loss, balance sheets, general business, accountancy business, and brought them back and gave them to me.
Wow.
And so from maybe 14, 15, I had accountancy books at home.
Yeah.
And that helped me do my business GCSE.
Yeah.
And that's why I went then into GNVQ business.
Wow.
I was keen to get into work, not super keen to go to university because I thought I'd really, really struggle.
Right.
So I decided that going into work would be potentially an easier option.
Yeah.
Going down the apprentice route would be really good for me.
What made you think you'd struggle at uni?
My GCSEs weren't fantastic.
Yeah.
I had to resit my English. I got English D, and I had to resit it and got a C whilst I was doing my GNVQ business. Yeah. And I'm just not academically bright in that way. Yeah. And therefore to go to a university to go and then do more of that wasn't super attractive.
Yeah. It sounds like a smart choice, as it's turned out to be. It has been a smart choice.
Absolutely.
But it's funny thinking about it back then. I never realised that you were a passionate accountant. I knew you were a very good accountant, but I never realised it was your passion from a young age.
Absolutely. My dad coming home that day with those books was great. I enjoyed flicking through those books. It took me a few years to actually understand what was in those books. Yeah. But I liked the concepts and then replicating that whilst doing my GCSE business. Yeah. GNVQ business really did help foster that sort of passion for accountancy.
Wow. It's amazing. It's amazing. So you decided, right, I'm going to work. You get a job in Hitchin in the accountancy practice there. So talk me through this. What was it like walking into that first practice that you joined? It's Hitchin and Hertfordshire. You're 17. How did you feel?
It was a weird one because I'd got the job. I'd done interviews in May. Yeah. And my start date was the 2nd of August. So I didn't start for 3 months. And I therefore had to wait 3 months before I got to go and experience being in work. Yeah. I was therefore very young. Yeah. I'd had a few weeks off. I went into the practice. They were lovely. They really did look after me. But at that time, I was very much a trainee, very much a junior. Yeah. And so therefore, if there was admin work to be done, I was very much doing it. If we needed stamps, collecting from the shops, I'd be sent to go and do so. Or if they were, getting a cake run, I'd be very much sent to go and do that.
But I think for me, I recognise that in some of the jobs I took on early. And it's this idea that you're willing to do it. It's not like it wasn't below you, the fact you had to go to the cake shop.
No, absolutely. It was like a rite of passage, I guess, at that point. And, when you moved up and the new trainee came in, you kind of went, phew, I don't have to do that anymore. And the new trainee would then pick up those roles, which was nice. You kind of saw it passing down.
Yeah, which is nice. A nice way to see it. And then you went on to, whilst the university wasn't a thing for you, you went on to complete your AAT and your ACCA. For those that don't know about accountancy, what's AAT and what is ACCA? They sound like exams.
Yeah,
what are they?
Absolutely. So the AAT is an entry-level qualification, and it's a great foundation qualification. 3 years normally, and you would expect all accountants worth their salt to at least have AAT, and that then leads you on nicely to do the chartered and the certified chartered exams. Where I was doing my studying and my apprenticeship, they then sent me off to do ACCA after I passed my AAT.
Right.
And that's normally a 3-year course minimum, just due to the level of the number of exams you have to do. I managed to pass mine in about 2.5 years.
Wow.
So I got mine done really quickly. Even with some failures in there, I managed to get mine done really quickly because I was committed to getting it done, and I wanted to learn from the mistakes I'd made for the failures.
Yeah.
So by 2005, I was qualified.
Wow.
I was qualified.
Fairly fast track, isn't it? From walking through the door in 99 as a
fresh
young leaver with GNVQ in business to... And then, so when did you realise that was broadly equivalent to a degree? Because that's what they
many years later, where I just happened to be, I think I was looking it up for something else, and it came up that it was broadly equivalent to a degree, which made me quite proud, given that,
going to say,
I had friends and colleagues that had done degrees.
Yeah.
I never thought I would be bright enough to do a degree.
Yeah.
And so therefore to find out that my ACCA was actually equivalent to a degree was quite nice for me. Subsequently, sort of later on in my career, I did then do the ACA pathways route as well, which is, you have ACCA, which is the Chartered Certified, and you have ACA, which is the Institute. I now have both qualifications, so I am dual qualified there as well.
What did that change in how you saw yourself? To you, I guess you just done the exams because they were a natural part of you growing through the business. And then later you find out it's a degree. What does that do to how you see yourself?
It gives you that, or it gave me that level of kind of satisfaction, and from that satisfaction gave me the confidence that I in that field, I have that ability. Yeah. It just has to be maybe slightly focused in the field. Yeah. And I passed my exams pretty well in the end. Yeah. And therefore to end up with a qualification that's equivalent to a degree was totally unexpected for me, but very satisfying, and sort of gave me that confidence to go into that next stage when I did my ACA as well. The pathways there.
I think that's for me the strong part. There's so you leave at school, you're making the decision, I'm not going to do a degree because I don't think I'm bright enough yet. You go on to do it, which is the part that you just kept moving forward. I mean, one of the things we talk about a lot, and let's talk about confidence, is it's taking a step, one small step, and by 6 years later you've got a degree equivalent, which was something that you'd thought, I'm not sure I can do that. So we've got you're there, you've got some qualifications, you're starting to sort of move around the practice and hitching. But when we were talking earlier, you were saying the progression routes were a wee bit congested there. There was no real way to move forward. However, an ex-colleague had opened a door here at Menzies. So what made you take that step?
I thought I had more to give and be more valuable to clients and to a firm. One of my previous mentors at the firm that I was at previously was very kind to me and gave me that experience about how to manage clients. And she was great. She basically left me to run her portfolio. It was only a small portfolio of maybe 30, 40 clients. Wow. She worked part-time, and she basically left me to it to get on with running the portfolio and then report to her on the days in which she was in, which was great. It gave me that experience. It was and I watched her pass that down to the next person after I left, and he got that experience as well. So it was really great. And again, that having that confidence to know how to deal with clients. It was a great little test with only a very limited number of clients. And if I was ready to take that next step, the problem was that there wasn't a portfolio for me to manage other than my mentors at that time. But it was quite a small portfolio. So when I looked outside the current practice I was at, one of my colleagues said, "Why don't you come to where I am? They've got openings. We've got lots of clients. Why don't you come over?" So I interviewed. I must have interviewed well. And I joined the practice in around about November 2006.
Wow.
And I came straight in as an assistant manager. And was able to then start meeting clients straight away because I'd had some experience of that.
I think that's when we met you.
Absolutely.
2006?
Yep.
20 happy years later, we're still talking.
Absolutely. So we must have both done something right.
Done something right. Definitely, 1,000%. What was that like though, when you joined here as an assistant manager? What was the culture like compared to the smaller one? Was it different?
It wasn't much different. It was obviously just a whole new bunch of people to get to learn and to work with, which big groups of people I don't do particularly well with. Again, it's something that I would rather pick one person off at a time, maybe. And I came from a group where I was managing a portfolio on my own. So I could be quite solo and that was fine. When I came here, I was then assistant manager of a team of 5 or 6. And so to deal with that number of people was a challenge to begin with. But I certainly started building my confidence up, dealing with groups of people and leading a team, which something that I wasn't necessarily responsible for at my old place.
No, you wouldn't.
But I came into here and pretty much started leading the team fairly early on.
Wow. 20 years later, you're still here. So was there something about Menzies specifically that's made you want to stay?
Over that period of time, I was given a fair amount of latitude in terms of clients who I wanted to work with and employing the right people. And that's been great. And that's definitely kept me here. And then over the last few years, as Menzies has grown, I've had some great opportunities to work with some great people and with some great clients as well, and learn lots of new things. And learning new things is well, I think that drives us all.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Having knowledge drives confidence, I think, because you know more, you can talk to more people about lots of different things.
I think it sounds like they've kept you interested, because a lot of people move around every few years, chasing titles, chasing money, but you've been at that one firm for 2 decades, and it's like, I guess, what would you think's the case for staying in terms of, from a confidence point of view, would you think that does? Because some would say you're getting a new challenge going somewhere else. Does that build your confidence? What do you think is it? You kind of alluded to it a wee bit there. What is it do you think's made you stay? This, or if you were talking to someone else, or what's the case for them staying?
Opportunity has been always very, very good. I've always said if you work hard, opportunities will come your way. Nobody should ever be, you should never be given it. You should be earned. And I've always felt that I've worked very hard. I've earned all of my progression, which has been great. And the progression has come. Whatever's been promised to me. Because I've delivered. It's the progression has come, and therefore that keeps you here. And that's not changed. Even when you get to being partner. That you still have those opportunities to work with, great clients, great people, and new opportunities with other businesses. Just keeps you interested, keeps you excited, keeps you engaged for the future.
It's a really good lesson for other companies, isn't it? That if you have got consistent opportunities that you're able to take because you've delivered. If more companies done that, we'd probably see a drop in the moving every 2 or 3 years to get more money, get a better job or whatever. So, or get different experience. It's a really strong thing. You mentioned this. So Menzies went through a merger, quite not that recent, but went through a merger. And one of the things you shared with me was possibly you felt that kind of imposter syndrome moment when that happened. Can you tell me a wee bit more about that?
Absolutely. When I was part of the firm that merged into Menzies, and when that happened, Menzies is, as you said earlier, is a top 20 firm.
20, yeah.
We've got some really super bright partners, and coming into that as a joining partner, invariably at that moment in time, I felt that I wasn't good enough to become part of a top 20 firm. I'd been a fairly local practice. Yeah. It wasn't something that I, without a university degree, without not being privately school educated or something like that, would be able to fit into with that partner group. Yeah. I have been pleasantly surprised that we, over the last 2.5-3 years, it's been a great experience to learn that I am better than I thought I was. Yeah. And that's given me confidence to work with these people, really bright partners, as I say. And we are my where I was to where I am now is completely different. Yeah.
I mean, it's funny, from an external point, you've always been Stuart to us, and you've always been competent and warm, so we don't see that change. It's funny, but inside, what I really liked, the way you were saying it was didn't feel you good enough. That we never saw that from the outside. So for you, how did you overcome that? But how did you move from, we've just been taken over, I'm part of this bigger company, I don't think I should be here, blah, blah, blah. So how did you fill that gap?
I was very lucky that when I joined as part of the Menzies partnership group, one of my first things that I was able to get my hands on was a partnership mentor.
Got you.
And he has really supported me over the last couple of years to help me navigate being part of, such a big group of people, but also, learning how to do things in the right way. Yeah. And that has been massive to me, to be able to take me from where I was to where I am now. And when, over the last couple of years, the people that I've been working with, I've been learning from them all the way along.
Got you.
And working with them has actually built up my knowledge base as well. Yeah. And so we're, 2.5 years later, I'm in a position where I know more.
Yeah, got you.
They know more about me. Yeah. We work really well together, and generally, I think just having a really great working relationship means that everybody has more confidence, more trust in one another. Yeah. And you end up in a really, really good place.
Which is great. And I think it was the thing you were saying earlier, often we find, this is across the board with experts, but sometimes you find someone who's really expert about a particular subject knows everything in that subject, but they may not know things outside that you do. So, for example, we were talking personal tax, business tax, all those kind of different things. You seem to have that knowledge across. You've always been, in my mind, you've always been inquisitive about all the aspects of tax, not just one specialism.
Absolutely. I'm a general practitioner by trade. Yeah. And I've been working with specialists. Some of my partner colleagues are specialists in their field. Yeah. And which is great, because it means that very technical pieces, they're super diligent on, and they know their stuff. Yeah. Where you end up then that because they're specialists, they don't know necessarily about some of the other bits that I know.
Or the client, perhaps.
Or maybe the client.
You've had the relationship with the client for the years.
Absolutely. And me being more of a general practitioner means that I know lots of different things. And which I think is great, because it means I can have a conversation at a certain level, take it to the specialist, and then the specialist can help me just fill in that last 10%, which is not my specialty, perhaps. So
that makes sense. I think there's a recurring theme for me, Stuart, in your story, that you keep learning bit at a time. You don't go like, I need to know it all. You start on the books that your dad brought home. You read them, you don't understand them at first, you take time, and eventually they make sense. You do the business degree because of the books. And then as we go forward, it's like you work with a specialist, you learn enough that you need to know to satisfy your general clients, but you go back to this. I think often people forget you've got to learn a bit at a time.
Knowledge is
steps, isn't it?
Knowledge gives you confidence. Having knowledge is powerful.
Definitely. I mean, assistant manager, principal, associate partner, you've gone through it all to 2018. Clear ladder, climb it's taken years, which is great. We talk about this bit called the boring middle bit, and any skill that you're learning. You were mentioning your son's playing clarinet, and I guess at the beginning he's all enthusiastic. Then he gets to the bit where he's got to practice and he doesn't feel himself getting any better. Then, because you probably support him, he keeps doing it and eventually pops out and he gets it. But a lot of people in that middle bit don't realise that the brain's rewiring. So they give up just before it gets to their fingers or their brain. So they give up, they don't realise that it's changed. And this is the bit that we talk about. And I saw this where I was thinking, like, so that's a long 20 years. You've done it, you've got to partner, you're still young. What sustained you through the boring middle bit? Was there a bit where you went, man, I'm not getting anywhere? Did that happen, or did you miss that?
I think I still have an element of that.
Yeah.
The areas I struggle in particularly, technically I'm pretty good. The bits I struggle with are the business development, the marketing, the networking, the big groups of people.
Yeah.
That's the bit I struggle with. I've started doing more and more.
Yeah.
But I don't feel that I'm making any real progress on it.
Right.
A couple of weeks ago, I had a presentation I did at one of our local events, and I had to stand up in front of 30 people, do a presentation. It was only 5 to 6, 7 minutes on who Menzies are, what do we do, what do I do, who am I? And my hand was shaking so badly. I could barely, I had to actually hold something to stop my hand shaking so bad. I found that really, really difficult.
Yeah.
That's not my skill set.
Yeah.
I want to be better.
Yeah.
And so I'm still in the middle, really,
Brilliant.
Really caught in the middle on trying to be better at those sorts of things. There's a little bit of way to go, and I acknowledge that. And listening to one of your podcasts from the other day, I can see that I'm still in that middle bit where it doesn't feel like I'm making any progress, but I'm going to keep going.
Get there.
And that's the bit I struggle with.
I think you've got a track record to keep going. It's not like, well, sure, eventually make it. I'm going like, absolutely you will. But what I love, and this is the bit I think that's real important. So you've done all this, you're 20 years, you made partner. A lot of people would say, I'm at the top of the mountain. Why do I want to climb the next one? And that's what I think's amazing about you, that you go, I want to be good at that now. I realise the bit. So I'm happy with accountancy knowledge. You're always going to top that up. But I want to be better at those bits there, which it's amazing.
I want to be a good ambassador for Menzies and for my office here.
Yeah.
And to do that, I think I need to be a little bit more out there as well. Yeah. And so to do that, I need to take myself out of my comfort zone and just keep doing. And
it's easy not to take yourself out, isn't it?
It would be sometimes more pleasant not to take myself out.
I'll get somebody that's good at that to do that, because they love doing that, and I'll just sit and support them. But I'm so pleased that you've taken that, because it's life, and if we do this, we master something. Then when we look back at it, we go, I don't know, is a bit of you, do you ever look back and go, well, that was easy? I'm here 20 years later, I'm here.
I enjoy my job. I love my job, and that makes that easy. Bad days, good days.
Yeah.
Because I enjoy my job, I enjoy working with my clients, I enjoy working with my team. I look back all the time and see that it generally is a happy. Yeah. I've had a really happy career.
Yeah.
I say, so that's again helps me get through this moment where I know that I need to be better at marketing, BD, all those sorts of things, and I know that what I do 90% of the time, I enjoy doing. Yeah. So if it's just the 10% that I'm not so good at.
Great way of thinking about it. Do the percentages and you go, that's not so bad. That's manageable. I love that. You've broken it down to that manageable bit. Couple of things before I want to move on to running, because I know you're a big runner. I want to talk about that in a minute, because I think it seems unrelated, but we'll come back to that. What do you think changed when you made partner, not just the title, but how you saw yourself? So you're now a partner in a top 20 accountancy firm. You find yourself as a partner in 2018. So what changed how you saw yourself?
I saw myself as I had to lead the team in a particular way. And I always wanted to promote the team in such a way that, I always wanted to work with the team in such a way that if I ever turned around to run into battle, who would be standing behind me?
That's good to me. That's good.
And I'd like to think that I had 99% of the team to want to run down the hill behind me. But I did that by, I've done all the jobs on the way through. I'm not asking you to do something I wouldn't have done. Yeah. And so although I was I'm a partner and I was a partner, I'm not asking you to do something I wouldn't do myself or haven't done myself. Yeah. And I think that the team saw that, knew that, and therefore followed. Yeah. And I saw therefore that we could then push on together and we'd have something really great. Yes. So when I became partner, I could then look back and see that. I could actually see the team learning from that, going, okay, he's done all the jobs on the way through. I can do that job. I can be like him in the future. Fantastic. Without that sounds really bad. I don't want to be ego. No. I've got to say, one of the things we talk about is attractive confidence and arrogant confidence. You've never been arrogant confident. You've always been attractive confident. When you walk in the room, we know that you know what you're talking about. Even if sometimes you probably thought, oh, I've just caught this out 2 seconds ago from a colleague. It never comes across like that. So I'd say attractive because you don't come over like that. Well, you haven't ever in the 20 years I've known you. Do you think, is there a different kind of confidence required as a partner versus a senior manager? Was there any difference between those two, or was it the same? What was it? I think as a partner, you have to trust quite a lot in your team. And if you've trained them really well, that's hopefully not a problem. Yeah. As a senior manager, having that level of trust is going to be quite difficult because you maybe don't have that experience to be able to trust in the team. And I can certainly see that, and maybe I didn't know it at the time, to be honest. I only probably can look back now and see that you've got to, in difficult client circumstances or difficult meetings with staff, you're going to, as a partner, you've got to take the lead. And maybe previously that would be something I would be very, very shy at doing. Yeah. As a partner, it's expected, and you've got, that's what you should be doing. You've got to do the right thing. And I've learned that's the difference between a senior manager and a partner, is that the expectation is that you should do this and you can do this. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes you have to tell yourself you can do this. That's true. I think a lot of people recognise that, Stuart, that we do. Sometimes we got to do stuff and we go, I got to do it. Yep. This is the right thing to do. This is me. I'm expected, I guess. Yeah, definitely. Sometimes I'm just thinking about some of the folks I work with maybe as a senior manager. Sometimes they may, and this is maybe bad of me saying, hide behind the role of somebody above them that will take that flag or take that decision. It's very easy to do that. You're on point. You're it. Yeah. There's no one above you. It's you. And also when it's your business. Yeah. And it's your client. And it's your practicing certificate that's at risk. You've got to. It's different. You've got to lead. You've got to. You've got to be in control. Yeah. When you're a senior manager or a manager, they are diligent still, absolutely. But it doesn't have that risk attached to it quite as much as it does when you're a partner. That makes a huge difference. I get that. I want to move on to one of my favourite things, which is the running. And I like to think I played a small part in inspiring you to run when I was doing my running stint myself. But I won't go that far. I think your brother was quite a big influence in that as well. And it's really talking about, it does seem a bit unrelated, but I don't think it is. And here's why. But a decade ago, I remember you took up running. You stuck with it. It was park runs, and then you moved on to 10Ks, then half marathons, consistent in your training. I mean, really passionate about it as well. What got you started? This is quite embarrassing. When I started, I felt I needed to lose some weight. Yeah. But I didn't have the confidence to go and run on the road. Got you. So I bought a treadmill. Right. Put it in my garage. and I pounded that treadmill 5 nights a week.
Wow.
Until I lost some weight.
Wow.
Which I did because I was
I remember
a
you.
little bit overweight. And so I lost some initial weight, which meant I was getting a bit easier on the treadmill.
Yeah.
And then I had a conversation with my brother and sort of mentioned to him what I was doing.
Yeah.
And he said, why don't you come out on the road? And I said, I'm too embarrassed to come out and run on the road. People might see us. In the end, he talked me into it and we started running together on the road.
Yeah.
And it's so much different than running on a treadmill, as I'm sure you know.
Much more fun.
Much more fun, but it does have uphills as well.
Yeah.
And eventually we then started doing parkrun together. And we then obviously started going, once you've done parkrun, you do normal 5Ks, you do 10Ks.
Let's do a 10. Let's do that.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's how I got into it. It was very much a case of, I felt I wanted to, it was for initial weight loss.
Yeah.
But I was doing it in the garage.
You got the bug, haven't you? You definitely. I remember you getting that bug, so I was like, wow, this is someone truly inspired by it. And it's, I guess, you've also got the London to Brighton 57, is it? Or is it more?
It's unfortunately more. It's London to Brighton is 100K.
Jeez. And that's coming up in a week's time?
That's coming up in a week's time. When I got the training plan for that, I looked at it and said, that's not achievable.
Yeah.
I didn't think about whether the day was achievable. I just looked at the training plan and said, that's not achievable.
Yeah.
And I looked at that, 15 weeks ago. And on week 1, I'm just saying, week 13 looks fairly horrific. I cannot do that.
Yeah.
I cannot do that.
Yeah.
Training, it's 6 days.
Yeah.
And it was going to be 125K for that week. Running nearly 10K, 13K a day. And then on the Saturday running 15K and then on the Sunday running 45.
Oh my God.
I'm just saying, I cannot do that. And this was 15 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I did it. That week, I did it. I ran from Hertford to Canary Wharf with my brother.
Good God.
It was a fantastic day.
I saw something on Facebook. I never put the 2 and 2 together. I saw you was doing Lee Valley Way sort of thing.
Yeah, down the river.
Yeah.
And it was fantastic. For that week's block was very, very heavy mileage.
Oh my God.
And we had such a great day.
Yeah.
And it was amazing to think after I'd done that was like,
15
weeks ago, I was thinking this is just not achievable. And I'm now a week away. And I'm not going to say it's going to be easy. Absolutely not. But I'm looking at it thinking, can I finish it?
Yeah.
Time is not an issue.
No.
It's more about can I actually finish it in a fit state that I'll be able to actually walk over the line. At this moment in time, I've got enough confidence to think that I can do it, but because I've done all the work. If I hadn't done all that work, there would be no way I could do it. But, when I was at week 1, looking forward, I thought absolutely no chance. But I have dedicated myself to it, gone out when I've really not wanted to. Yeah. My wife has been fantastic because she's printed off the plan and she's hassled me every day to tell me what I'm supposed to be doing tonight.
That's really good.
10K tonight, dear. Yeah. It's like, I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Come on, out you
Let's
go.
do it.
And she's been great, keeping me on track and, planning our lives around it really to make sure that I had enough time to go out and do it. So that's been fantastic. And, a week away now, kind of hoping that, I'm in taper, albeit it's still a 60K week this week. Next week is a bit easier. But,
Good grief. I think for me, Stuart, that it's the parallel of 20 years consistently shown at work, taking exams, going through the new learning, going through mergers, all that consistent stuff you've had to do for 20. Now we've stuck the running on for a decade, and you've done your park run, 5K, 10K, man. Now it's that. And I'll be honest, I love that bit where you go 15 weeks ago. There was no way. But then last week you've done the big run, and it's like, that's what I think, for me, the whole message I've tried to put out about confidence is you're not born with it, you got to build it. Yep. Now for something like you're talking about, which is extreme and amazing to do a 100K run, but the same principle applies whether I'm doing my first talk, again, you're doing the talk, you're definitely stretching yourself in a minute. But when you do all that, when whatever it is you want to do, if it's the smallest thing, like I'll get you something that a lot of people struggle with, I find, is talking up in a meeting when they've got maybe senior people like you in it. Just contributing, just saying what's on their mind. They go, I want to say this, but I feel nervous saying it. A small thing like that is the same principle as your 100k run, where I might have to practice saying it and then say one thing, and then by the end of 3 months or 2 months or whatever, I might feel confident speaking up in the meeting.
Yep.
I ain't going to go from 1 minute saying nothing to the next day contributing. I'm going to have to build it, just like you've built your running, just like you built your career, which is amazing. I guess, what I look at is, if you think of you back hitching at 17, then you sort of thinking, I'm not bright enough to go to uni, to you were a partner, a top 20 firm, and running, I was going to say half marathons, but hey, come on, ultras. What do you think it is that's changed in you, or has anything changed? Was it always there?
I was never a runner.
Right.
I was never a runner. It was certainly not natural. It's been hard. My running is not anything but natural. It's hard work. And I have to work at it a lot. My career, because I've enjoyed what I've done, as I said earlier, enjoying what you do, and learning and knowledge, it keeps you hungry to keep developing yourself, to keep wanting to do the job that you're there to do. And that's pushed me all the way through from the beginning. And as you say, I'm still relatively young, that I've still got a good 15, 16 years that I want to do. There's so much to learn, and accountancy is great in a sense of the budget keeps changing the rules every year, which is great. It keeps us on our toes,
keeps you busy,
and obviously quite a lot of rules change and things move, and technology changes the way we do things. It's about taking that, embracing it, using it, and having knowledge gives you power, gives you confidence to enjoy what you do, and that's certainly where I get my desire to carry on doing and pushing forward. Now, even though I'm partner, I still want to be more to my clients. I want to be more to my team.
It's amazing. It's brilliant. Is there anything you believed about confidence early on in your career that turned out to be wrong?
I don't think there was, at the time when I was young, I don't think there was, I probably didn't think about confidence very much. I just kind of felt I couldn't do that. And I didn't know why I didn't. I didn't know why I thought that, other than I just don't think I can do it. The confidence thing only probably came as I progressed in my career, to be able to look back and say, it's probably because I lacked the confidence there. It's probably something I couldn't articulate at the time. And so it's very difficult to.
I think that what that's saying to me is this bit where you go, I can't do that, and it's almost like, I can't do it yet. But go forward to now, and you did put yourself in the uncomfortable position to try and learn it, to go out and do a 45 kilometre run. That's a big thing for me, that you keep pushing yourself, and that's great.
Absolutely.
Because you want to learn, you want to build it. If there's somebody who was 17 deciding between university and a different route, what would you want them to know?
Apprenticeship models are great. You get to learn while you earn. That's true. And I think in this day and age, that is a great opportunity for people. Having experience is worth something. And I think that some people are either academic or sometimes are practical. And I really do think that apprenticeships in that scenario is it for the people who are slightly more practical maybe than academic. I think it works really well. I can certainly say that I think I performed really well at work as a junior. I really got those cakes really well. But I was good enough at my job that when it came to doing the exams, because it was on a subject I enjoyed, it made it that I could be academically quite bright as well, because I could pass those exams. And I do think that that type of getting into work, learning the trade, you will learn so much more in the job, maybe than you'll learn in the same period of time at a university or at A-levels.
It's a good definition. If you're practical, that's perhaps a route to go. If you're academic, that's a route to... I don't think there's a one-size-fits-all, is there? And that's
Absolutely
probably what you've realised. Imposter syndrome is a big thing. I hear a lot of people saying, like, oh, I'm not sure I should be here, I'm doing this job or not. Just anyone going through that. So imagine they've achieved things, but they still feel like they don't belong. What would you tell them?
Talk to people.
Yeah.
Talk to people. There'll be others that are exactly the same, going through exactly the same pain or difficulty. I was very lucky that when the merger happened, I had a colleague who we are very similar, and he could see that I was thinking that even before I told him that I was, because of the way I was maybe acting or behaving in a certain way, that maybe I was slightly closed off, maybe I was slightly, not negative, but slightly inward too much. Yeah. And he could see that, and he even said, I'd never heard of imposter syndrome at that time. Yeah. And he suggested it to me and said, you sound like you've got imposter syndrome. And I was like, okay, maybe I have. Yeah. Because I could then see that I'd never felt that I fit. I didn't think that I would fit. Yeah. But I've worked really hard at working with my colleagues, getting to know them, speaking with colleagues, having my mentor has been fantastic. Yeah. And having people to talk to, having people to work with, learning has been able to get me not out the other side, but it's been able to get me closer to the other side. Yep. I'll still never feel that I'm, necessarily good enough, but I do certainly feel in a much better place, in a comfortable place, a confident enough place to be able to be very happy. Probably what still drives you. Probably does. And that I want to be more. I want to learn more. And I think that's a lot of folks will be going through the same. It's like, I think that what strikes me about the conversation we've had, the thread of it is consistency. 20 years at one firm, a decade of running, the willingness to show up, keep going, and trust that the work compounds over time. That's a big thing. And I think one of the things I've noticed about you is you didn't have the traditional credentials. You didn't take a fast route. You took the long route, and you're still on it. I've watched your progression from across the table for nearly 20 years. What I've seen is proof that confidence it's not where you start or what qualification you have on paper, it's about what you do with the years you've given. And for anyone listening who's on a long road, who's wondering if the consistent effort is worth it, if the challenge is worth it, if the continuous want to learn is worth it, this is what it looks like when you stay the course. Stuart, thank you so much for sharing that and being so open with us as well. Really appreciate it, and keep being our accountant. Thank you. Thanks very much.